So Emmitt Smith made some interesting comments on Twitter after the Cowboys cut Ezekiel Elliott. This is a week on from this. I'm a little behind, but I did want to come back to it because it's interesting to me. Obviously, Emmitt is not a fan of us parting ways from Zeke and complaining about this being the not for long league and players get your money and all that. But I want to talk about it. Let's break it down a little bit. So what we have here, what you can see in this chart here, is the top 10 paid running backs of all time, or 2 through 9 is what's being showed here. As Adrian Peterson is number 1 overall, and I believe Christian McCaffrey's he's bringing up 10 right now. And if he fulfills all that contract that he was promised, he'll be up there in the top 3, if not top 1. But if you notice, both Emmitt Smith and Ezekiel Elliott, 2 Dallas Cowboys, are on this list. And Emmitt has been out of the league for, a long time. Now, granted, he did play, 84 years in the league, so he racked up a lot of coin there. In fact, it's pretty impressive because the first few years in the league, I mean, they just weren't paying players like this. So he did get a lot of money there on the back end. And deservedly so. I mean, he was a catalyst on our Super Bowl teams. And he is the all-time leading running back for the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League, or the not-for-long league, as he calls it. But just looking at this list and knowing that Adrian Peterson is number 1, you have a handful of Super Bowls on this. Most of them with Emmitt Smith. Marshawn Lynch has 1. Probably should have had 2. Just run the ball. I don't believe Reggie Bush. Maybe Reggie Bush was. I think he was with that 2009 team. Edgar and James. He has a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. LaShawn McCoy might have gotten 1 there in 2020. I don't even remember him being on that team. LaDainian Tomlinson. No. Frank Gore, no. So of all these top paid running backs, how many of them would you say were catalysts for Super Bowl runs? Emmitt Smith, Marshawn Lynch. Emmitt Smith, Marshawn Lynch. I'm looking. I mean, Adrian James was a big part of Peyton Manning's Super Bowl team. I know. So all this money spent, and what was your return on investment in terms of championships? Probably, in my opinion, not very good, right? So for Emmitt to be upset that they moved on from Ezekiel Elliott, it's understandable from his position, being a running back and being a Dallas Cowboy. That's fine. He can have that opinion. But from the business standpoint of the league, you're not getting a lot of ROI from paying running backs. So the real upset, where you should have funneled your anger is having signed Ezekiel Elliott to that big of a contract to begin with. Everyone knew when it was signed that it wouldn't work out. And as soon as you signed it, all of the media talking heads, at least the ones local in Dallas, every year you'd hear them, well, you can't move on from Zeke yet. It was just a countdown, a clock countdown to when you can move on from that contract. As soon as you sign some of these contracts, that's what it becomes. And so the question is, why do we sign them? Why do you do it? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, Emmitt's comments are interesting. He's still top 10 paid running back of all time. Ezekiel Elliott's number 2, and he didn't get to finish out that contract. I say he got well compensated for what he provided. And I loved Zeke. I loved watching him. I thought he was decent this year too, but just not up to the amount of money that they had promised him. And I don't think anyone has to feel bad about moving on from Zeke. He got paid $70 million over 7 years. That's pretty good. And he'll go get a contract somewhere else. And life goes on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. You guys agree with Emmitt? You guys upset about it? Think it's unfair? Let me know. All right, go Cowboys.